Hi, my name is Nishant Kasibhatla. I am a professional speaker and a corporate trainer. I conduct workshops and seminars for individuals and organizations and even schools and associations on how you can improve your memory, how you can read faster, and how you can focus better. Because I believe that the skills of learning faster, reading better, and focusing better are so important in today's information age. So by teaching people how they can do that better, they'll be more focused, they'll be more happier, and they'll be more productive. And above all, I'm also a father. I have a son, he's 3.5 years old. His name is Ayush, Ayush. And the reason why we named him Ayush is because in Sanskrit, Ayush is long life. And we really like this name. And also being in Singapore, multi-racial culture, and it's a melting pot, we wanted the son's name to be something that is easy for people from all different cultures to say it out loud. So when we tested this name out, when I said Ayush, it was okay for people to say this name Ayush. So that's finally we decided the name is Ayush, and I think he's very happy. We're very happy because this name, we want our son to have long life and do great things in his life. My son is a very playful individual, playful child. He likes jumping around, he likes playing a lot, he likes going to the zoo. Is one of his favorite things is going to the zoo and looking at all the animals. He likes drawing pictures, and he likes to spend a lot of time with me and of course with my wife as well. I think he's very happy being at home, spending time with us. We don't have to take him to the movies or take him to something else to make him happy. So he's just happy just spending time with us as well. And that's, I think, something really good. And of course, it does not mean that we don't take him out. We do take him out a lot. In fact, every week we go to different areas, different places to give him that feeling of playfulness and for him to explore things around his world. Yeah, that's a little introduction about my son. Well, fatherhood has really changed me at many different levels, and it's good to say that it's all positive, I should say. The first thing is I'm more happier now, and for no reason actually. And of course, the reason is my son, but I can just be, I feel myself as a more happier person. Just being able to spend time with my son, even if it's like 5 minutes, even if it's like half an hour, doesn't really matter. But every second or every minute I spend with my time, that fills my heart with joy, fills my heart with happiness. And I think that is something which you can't buy. That's something which you can't get it anywhere else. It's just pure joy of fatherhood. That's the first thing. I'm a lot more happy. Number two, I've now become a more loving person. I mean, maybe I was like that before, but I feel now, I'm more emotional. I can really empathize with my son, and that has actually gone on to improve my emotional skills as well. In general, also, even if I'm not with my son as well, I'm now a more emotional person, and that's a good thing because the kind of work that I do, so sometimes I have to show my emotional side as well. So I think that's been a great thing, and these are, of course, the positive thing that has really happened. And of course there are some issues and challenges that came along with fatherhood. The first thing was productivity. Especially once my son was born, for the first I would say almost 3 months, and because I work from home, it's a little chaotic because if you do not plan out your things properly, it can really affect your productivity, and that's what really happened with me. The work has gone for a toss, the priorities changed, and it's all in a big mess for the first 3 months. But of course, luckily, I was in a position to allow that to happen because the work was not that intense during those days. But because of that, I now have new systems in place because I'm going to work from my home anyway. So not only in the last 3 years, but maybe in the next 10 years, I do not know. So I don't have an office, I work from home. So because of what I have experienced in the last 3 years, I have now become a more focused person, a more productive person, because now I have systems in place. I know the times that I can really focus well. I know the times that I should not focus now. This is the time for my son. I just give all my attention to my son. So that's another thing that really changed. And the other thing is the energy level. I always thought that I'm a very energetic person, which I am actually, but I realized that after my son was born, my energy is not that high because I have to spend a lot more energy than what I thought with my son, because as you know, children are very bubbly, they're very energetic. They can jump around, they can play for hours together. And I realized that I was not in a position to really match my son's energy. That was kind of I don't know, it was kind of a shocking thing to me, that I mean, is it really that my energy is so low? So of course, because of that, my priorities have changed. Now I am spending more time on exercising, so to bring my energy level up, because if I don't have the right energy, I will not be able to give full justice to the time that I spend with my son. So my energy level is now up, so which is an added advantage, I would say. It's not something which I envisaged, but it's something that actually came along. I'm not complaining, I'm very happy about it. So these are the few things that fatherhood has really changed me. In one word, I would say it's amazing. The experience is really, really amazing. Now, I must say that the first 1 year was a little chaotic. A lot of new things happening, lifestyle changes. The sleep pattern goes for a toss. The meaning of leisure totally changes. So all these things do happen. So the first 1 year, a lot of adjustments really took place. But from year 2 onwards, I think things only got better. In fact, now my son is 3.5, as I said. This is the best time that I can think of, because I can speak with him and he can reply back, and he actually says all these cute things. I don't know how he picks this up, and it's a great thing to be able to spend time with him and actually have a discussion or a conversation with him. So I'm a happy father. Well, I love my son very much, and because of that reason, I would love to do anything that is required by me to give him the very best that I can. So it could be in terms of money, it could be because we already have started a different savings account for my son, so that could be useful, savings and investment account actually. So when he grows up, he doesn't have to look for any other place. So he already has his fund that's going to help him. So we're doing that bit of I may not call it sacrifice, but there's some extra things that we're doing for my son to make sure he has a bright future. And also in terms of time, many times it happens that I wake up with a list of things to do. These are the things that I want to do because I want a very productive day today. But what happens is when I actually wake up, so things can totally be different, because my son would say, "Papa, can you please play with me?" Now, I mean, how could you say no? I don't think I could say no to that if my son asked me that. So I would say, okay, no problem, I'll do that. So of course, so I would spend more time with him. But then I had to go back and do some adjustments in my schedule to make sure that I not only have a productive day, but also I would have given enough time for my son, because I do not want my son to feel at any given point that my dad is not available with me to play, to have fun, to discuss. So if things need to be changed, things need to be adjusted, I'm definitely willing to do anything to make sure he gets the time, the love, and the support that he needs from a father. So to that effect, I'm definitely a person who is very much committed to do the very best that I can.
Okay.
First of all, I'm very fortunate to have very good parents. I'm more close to my dad, of course. But once I became a dad myself, I became more appreciative of all the things that my dad has done when I was growing up. Sure, there were always those situations where I was not really happy with few things that my dad has done. But now I realized that at that specific time, I think my dad has done the very best that he could in that given situation. So now, after I became a dad, so I'm more appreciative, and I look up to my dad even better, because I think I'm kind of a mini version of my dad, and I'm actually passing some of the skills that I have learned from my dad to my son right now. So that's a relationship with my dad. Okay, if you are a father already, I think the biggest thing that I would really like to tell you is spend more time with your children, especially if the child is younger, because I've done a lot of reading even before I became a parent as to how to be a good parent. And one of the things I realized is many people, when they're in late 50s, 60s, when the children are 15, 20 years old, the biggest regret that one of the biggest regrets they have is they did not spend enough time with their child when they're growing up. So just because of that, I'm actually taking out time on a daily basis to make sure I spend quality time with my son. So I think this is the message that I would give to any of the fathers out there, to spend more time with your son. When I say more time, I mean more quality time. Now, when I say quality time, what that actually means is, you're not checking email, you're not on Facebook, you're not playing Candy Crush, or you're not doing anything else while you're playing with your son. So when you play with your son, you just play with your son. You just do one thing and one thing only, because that's when the child can really see the love. That's when the child can really see the connection and the support that you can give. It's unfortunate that when I take my son out for a playground, indoor park, I see many parents that are actually on their mobile phones. Now I do realize that things are busy these days. People are getting busier, so I know that you have to work. But the thing is, I've actually seen some people playing games while leaving the child alone. So maybe this may not be true for most of the people, but I've seen this is a kind of a trend that is what I've been observing. So I mean, that's a lesson for me. Whenever I see that happening, that's a reminder for me that I would never do that with my son. So when I'm speaking with my son, I just speak with my son. So I think that is the only thing. And if you're not a father yet, I would say fatherhood is a great thing. You should definitely, and of course, the only way to really experience that is you become a father. But of course, please be ready for some new lifestyle changes, new ways of doing things, a new meaning for leisure, new priorities in your life. But I think at the end, the feeling that fatherhood, the joy of fatherhood is something that is simply undescribable. It's something that you need to experience. So fatherhood is good. Thumbs up to fatherhood, and I'm a really happy father, and I love every moment of being a father. I'm really enjoying it. I am a father. Oh, are you okay?
Mosquito bite.
Oh, not just now. Ayyo.
Wait, I'm
Oh, it's already recording. Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, do again.